So if you're the type of person who's ever restricted sugar or sweets or chocolate or any of that before, or demonized it as something that's crazy bad, or you're on a sugar-free diet, or even if you know a friend that's on it, this video is a must-watch. So here's the thing, we cannot pin obesity or people that are overweight on one thing. It's like people saying, oh, carbs make you fat, sugar makes you fat, fat makes you fat, protein makes you fat, or whatever else kind of fad is out there today. But the whole thing with sugar is, it's like everything else, it's not the cause, the direct cause to people being overweight. Yes, there's foods out there that have tons of sugar in them, they're very, very easy to overeat on, they might have addiction-like symptoms and stuff like that, but I want to show you and prove to you in this video that you do not have to restrict sugar, because of what I'm seeing, or what we see, or what I even hear actually, which I'll tell you in a minute about, is people saying, oh, I'm completely off sugar, I'm 100% sugar's out, I feel so much better, etc, 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 and that's fine, but I'm just going to show you this video here, kind of what I want to get across with that. So here we have your regular sugar cycle. They hear that sugar is the worst thing in the world, that it's in everything, that it's going to kill you, and you restrict it. You just take it out completely, from what I'm hearing lately. Over the time, that restriction may turn into a binge. It might be at your son's birthday party, or it might be at your friend's house when you call over and they pull out the buns and cake or whatever it is. Or even if you don't have kids yet, it might be just that you just say, feck this, you go out and have a pizza and you just get some sweets and sit for the Netflix all night long. You binge. What happens after that binge? You might revert back to old ways again, because you're like, feck, it didn't work. I can't do that and it'll never work for me. And then over time again, you might go on that restriction cycle again. It's the same with any diets as well. It's like diet, binge, restrict, diet, binge, restrict. That is what happens with the sugar thing. Now the whole idea, what sparked this actual video was, last week I was in a coffee shop. Okay, I had to reset the board because it's after falling down and clacking me in the head. But this video was actually sparked on a coffee shop I was in recently last week, and a couple basically came in. I was blatantly eavesdropping on them because I think they wanted to be heard more than anything, but they sat down, they ordered 2 kind of salad things each, as far as I can remember, but they were very, very adamant about not getting any sugar in that meal, having 0 sugar, because they're on a sugar-free diet and sugar's the devil. And they kind of went on about it for a few minutes, and even when the waitress was there, they were talking about it as if they were trying to prove something to the waitress. I don't know. Anyhow, a few minutes went by, and then one of them proceeds to get up and orders a mocha, which is a hot chocolate coffee. So I was kind of sitting there like, right, they didn't want sugar, but now they're after ordering a mocha. So like, this is the thing, people don't even know what they're on about half the time. But this couple is probably out there now thinking that sugar is the worst thing in the world, and they're trying to restrict it from everything under the sun. And then the other side of it comes as well, that like when you hear this in the newspapers and the news, a lot of it is just scaremongering tactics or marketing ploys that say sugar-free all of a sudden now, and packets out there that people are going to buy stuff more. But then there comes the other side of it too. If you're someone that goes, but I have a sweet tooth, or I get very bad cravings. And a lot of this stuff comes back to a self-fulfilling prophecy, which I used to do myself, is because if you keep telling yourself that, you will subconsciously tell yourself that you do have a sweet tooth, that you do have cravings come the evening time. There's always things you can put in place to eliminate those or make them better. But like, telling yourself that, you're the one telling yourself that, no one else is telling you that as well. So that is a big one that we kind of wake up with our members here as well, the people that do have the sweet tooths and whatnot. But as well as that as well, you're having a sweet tooth, you get very bad cravings because you're probably thinking that you're not allowed sugar, that you need to restrict it, because you don't. Like, I have a very, very detailed blog on this below that I'll link up here as well. If you want to get more details into the sugar side, I'll go into that. But what I'm kind of getting across this video is you do not need to eliminate sugar from your diet. As long as 80% of your day, roughly around 70 to 80% of your day, basically real food, single ingredient real foods, okay? Then the other side of the 20% of your day, this could be 10, like you could break it up if you want to 10% of it, like blatant what you love. So this could be ice cream, chocolate, sweets, sugar, stuff like that, and 10% of that could be like processed foods if you like. You can break that up. But if you're hitting that in your day, you're doing 100% fine. You do not need to restrict sugar out like that. I'm not saying that somebody who eats a diet that's kind of full of carbohydrates is good for you. You're probably likely going to overeat, but the real demon for someone gaining weight again will come back to you taking in the food and not expending enough energy of it. So eating too many calories. Yes, it's very, very easy to overeat on things like rocky roads and cake and stuff like that. It's simple. That is why if you keep to like an 80% meal structure and allow a treat, if you like, want to call it that, in the end of the day, do that. Like, we teach this to our clients. This is what we do ourselves. Even for me personally, I like to have something at the end of the day. I might save a bit of food for an ice cream or a chocolate bar or something like that. And that's what we want to teach here in Doc Fitness as well, to show you that it is possible to do it. You do not need to do something stupid and daft like restrict sugar 100% under the sun because there's no need for it. It's not going to magically turn excess sugar into fat. If you're not taking in excess calories, that will not happen. If you're taking in excess sugar, or excess carbohydrate, you're gonna burn more carbohydrate. If you're taking in more fat than usual, you're gonna burn more fat. It doesn't mean you're gonna gain weight as long as you're not overeating as such. So again, just think of it like this. If you restrict something, you're gonna want it more so than ever. If you tell a kid that he can't have something, they're gonna want it more than ever. So the fact you're telling yourself that, you're gonna make it harder for yourself straight off the bat. So if you incorporate that into your 80-20, so 80% real whole single ingredient foods, proper real food, and learning what's protein, carbs and fats, learning what's real good healthy foods and nutritious foods, nutrient dense foods. And then your 20% could be your like processed style if you like, and then adding in like blatant junk food, 10% of that. Once you adopt that mindset, you know that you do not have to be restrictive. You're not going to feel guilty. You're not going to have these magic sweet tooths. At least you'll have that control and sustainability there, that you know you can have something without beating yourself up when you've just had it. If you can adopt that 80-20 approach, it just makes life so much easier. So stop putting restrictions on yourself. Stop believing that sugar is a single cause for something, or stop believing that some diet is a single cause for anything. But I'm rambling on a small bit here now. I'm going to leave it at that. Hopefully this video was a few takeaways in it. If you have any more questions, pop them below. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you do want more of these, and we will chat to you soon. Bye-bye. Don't even know what they're talking about half.